Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi. Hello. This tea's freaking hot. I'm just gonna wait a few seconds. Hi. Hi, Michelle. Hello. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Fantastic. Hey, girl, hey. Here in pretty San Diego, it's windy and cloudy, but still blue skies, and it's actually, well, I say San Diego, we're like 10 minutes outside of it right now, but wow, okay, a lot of people have on. Cool. So it's something that I wanted to talk about today. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Something I wanted to talk about today in my tiredness face. So I was on a Zoom this morning with another distributor, and she was asking me some questions, some business related questions, and something that came up was a question that I get asked a lot by other distributors, and it's usually around like the emerald diamond level and above, and the question is always, how do you handle distributors that sign up on your team and don't they don't show up to go up, they don't plug in to conference calls or weekly Zooms, they're not really interactive in your team chats or things or whatever, and they ask you for help, and you're just kind of like, what's going on? So something that I wish that I knew before I was a triple diamond, something I wish I knew as I was moving up the ranks and going from distributor to more of a leader, was how to handle that type of situation, because my type of personality is very much so get really frustrated with people, because it took me a long time to realize that not everybody has the same work ethic as I do. I always mess up that phrase. Not everybody has the same drive and motivation and hustle as me or the next person, right? So in my mind, I stupidly did not realize that, and I kept treating everybody as though they were the exact same person. And I think if I had somebody telling me, hey, don't do that, I think I would have been leading better sooner. I think there's always room to grow as a leader or in anything in life, and I will always continue growing, but I will give myself a pat on the back right now because I have come a long way as a leader, and I'm talking about from starting as zero leadership qualities, do everything on your own, I did it on my own, why can't you type of attitude. That was me, okay? And I say that in a lot of my videos, but something that really stuck in my mind today was how I wish I knew how to handle that stuff in the beginning when I was first becoming a leader. And something that, if I can tell you right now, if people are on your team and you are getting frustrated by them and they aren't showing up to go up and, all of those things, if they're not attending your weekly Zooms, if they always have an excuse for everything, just forget about it, honestly. The person I was talking to today, she said, well, I have people that, are really working hard, and then I have other people that they just don't show up, and they don't do what they have to do, and it's always like a constant struggle. How do you handle that? And honestly, my answer for that is I handle it by not giving them attention, by not worrying about it, by not putting my energy towards people that are not working. When I got it through my head to stop focusing on the entire team, and let me just put it out there, okay, because you'll see me post all day every day about my team. I love my team. I genuinely adore my team. But in the last 4.5 years, I have had people sign up on my team that there were some that were hard workers and that they got it, and if they didn't get it, they'd ask me tons of questions because they wanted to get it, and there were others that didn't do a damn thing, and I would sit there pulling teeth trying to get them to do things. But at the end of the day, you can't tell somebody what to do. You can't make somebody work, right? If they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. So, and that just goes for you could be a black diamond, you could be a brand new distributor. You will have people that sign up and don't do a thing, right? It does not just happen to you. Please know that. It happens to every single distributor in this entire company, probably every day. So what I told her, and what I will tell you guys, is that the second I stopped worrying about my entire team and only started focusing on the people that were actually working, because, I mean, that's when everything changed for me, right? I very, very badly, I fell into management mode when I thought that everybody had to be on the weekly Zooms. Everybody's got to be at a one team, one mission. Everybody's going to be doing this. You have to listen to me. You have to do this, blah, blah, blah. Are you doing this? Are you making sure that you're checking in on our call tonight? The thing is, okay, these are grown adults. Your team, okay, they are all grown women, grown men. They should know how to set an alarm on their phone without you having to tell them, hey guys, don't forget the Zoom tonight. Don't forget this. Don't forget that. I still do that to this day because that's just my personality. But I don't get upset anymore and frustrated if people don't show up. If they don't show up, that's on them, right? That's on them. I don't have the time. And I have taught my team to also follow this way of thinking, because I don't want to see them fall into the same trap that I did, where I did fall into management mode. And what happened was, when I got into management mode, my business suffered. My business suffered. I was a crazy enroller, okay? I know what my strengths are, and one of my strengths is I am a top recruiter, okay? I've been that way. It's just something that I'm very good at. Just happens naturally for me. And I was a top recruiter, and I was enrolling like crazy, and I am way better at enrolling than leading a team. Now I've managed to find a balance, but if you could find a balance with what your strengths are and also leading, that's perfect, okay? But before I was able to find a balance, I fell into management mode, and my entire business suffered for it. Instead of enrolling, and instead of, building my volume and doing whatever I needed to do, I was so focused on the people that weren't working. Even though I had people that were working, I was so focused and sidetracked by the people that weren't, that my business suffered. My teammates that were working did not get the proper attention from me. And in general, it just was not a good look. Like, it's not a good look. It's not a good situation. So once I stopped focusing on all the people that weren't working and started focusing on the people that were, times have changed, all right? Like, things started to make sense, and my leadership evolved. And like I said before, I've come a long way in my leadership, and I think I'm a great leader now. Before that, I didn't have the confidence. I could act like I did, but I sure as hell did not. So I do now, though. I know how to lead. I know that I'm a great leader now. Before that, though, no. But it's all because I learned how to balance, and I took my focus off the negativity. And so when you have people that are not working on your team, even if you have 10 distributors and you have only one that is actually doing anything, you have only one that shows up to a weekly Zoom, you have only one that actually asks you questions or interacts with anybody in your group when nobody else is doing anything, focus on that one person. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about them. And you know what else? Another thing as well, because here's the thing, if somebody is not on my team, for example, you do not have to be in a leadership role to get my full attention, right? If you are a brand new distributor, okay, and maybe you've been in this for 3 months and you're still at a distributor level, you're not even executive yet, you're not Ruby, but you are doing everything possible, okay, and you are going out of your way to not only get my attention, and I'm not saying you have to, but I've seen people on my team do this and I love them for it, to not only get my attention, but to also, to really get my praise. You've made me sit up and notice, okay? When you were kind of sitting in the background before, by your own doing, not by me, maybe you just weren't ready, maybe you just weren't doing something, and all of a sudden maybe you just got it, or you got that motivation and that fire, and all of a sudden you start messaging me and you're like, hey, Jess, because there's a few people that come to mind right now, and it's completely changed not only their business, but my relationship with them, because I didn't just let them try and get my attention, I actually gave it to them. Because if they're willing to try and get my attention and show me like, hey, look, I'm doing whatever I need to do, but I need your help, then I'm going to give you my help, right? But I was so focused on the people that weren't doing any of that. They weren't showing up. They weren't on my Zooms. And even though the people that did show up on my Zooms, okay, they were there. They were always there. And I'd get off a Zoom and I'd tell my husband, can you believe such and such wasn't on this Zoom? Can you believe all these people? And he would always say to me to this day, yeah, but who was on it? Who was on the Zoom? Was it just 2 people? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Keep doing whatever you've been doing the same day, the same time, every week, and more people will show up. And do you know what? More people showed up. And more people showed up because I didn't stop doing what I was doing. And they saw the excitement within the 2 people that started, right? They saw the excitement from the 2 people that always showed up. And then they were like, you know what, maybe I should show up too. And then they started showing up. And the ones that stayed in the background that have not done anything, they're still in the background not doing anything. And that's not my fault. Maybe that's not even their fault. Maybe this just wasn't for them. I don't know, right? I would like to say people are lazy. Some people are. Some people are. But, you know, sometimes it's just a matter of timing. I don't know. But either way, my biggest lesson for myself in becoming a leader was focusing on the people that were working. And it didn't matter what level they were at. If they're working, they're working, right? It doesn't matter. On my team, there's no, you have to do this in order to talk to me. No, right? You just got to be working. So when I started focusing on those people began to thrive. They began to thrive because they were getting the proper attention that should have been given to them from day one, right? That should have been happening from day one. And I have seen so many people on my team come from out of the woodwork, from in the shadows, out of nowhere, and have their excitement just completely blown up out of nowhere. And all of a sudden now they're thriving. So it's literally, I wanted to tell you guys this because I do get that question a lot about how do I handle people that aren't working? You don't handle them. You put them to the side. You don't worry about them. And if they want to work, they will work. If they don't want to work, oh well, right? That's not on you. If you've done everything that you possibly can do and they still have not done what they're supposed to do, that's not on you. That's their decision. And I promise you guys, I have pulled out less hair with this mentality and mindset than I have in the last 4.5 years. In the last 6 months to a year of doing this business, my team has taken such a turn. Whether it's older distributors or brand new distributors, there's a different energy there and there's a different vibe. And I can tell you, it had to start with me, and it had to start with who I was giving my attention to, because at the end of the day, the people that were working so hard, it's not fair. And it wasn't fair that I was so focused on the people that weren't working when there were people working from day one that all they wanted was my help. And I tried to get, the thing is, I pulled a my mother situation, okay? My mom always told me, she had 4 kids. My mom always told me, you're the oldest child. You've always been so independent. You don't need my help, right? So she's like, Amanda does, Chris does, my brother and sister. You and Joanna, you're so independent. You don't need my help. And because Amanda, my sister, would call my mom 24/7, she was always there for her. I would call my mom. My mom loves me. My mom loves me to death. But she always felt like I could handle it on my own. I'm good. Because I have shown her in prior, circumstances that I could take care of myself. I could do it. Not to say that my brother and sister can't, but it's just that they always needed her more. And I, according to her, never needed her. So she never gave me that attention. So that I went and did, being the person that I am, I went and took that to my team. And if I saw them doing really good, they didn't need me, right? But in the end, that's not true. That's not true, because I tell my mother all the time, I may be 36 years old, Mom, I still need you. You're my mom, right? I still need you. I may be able to do everything on my own, but I still need you. And that's the difference. That's how I started talking to my team. My DTs could be phenomenal. They may know the answer to everything, but they still need me. They still need that guidance, regardless of how much they may know. And that's what I was missing, and that's what I failed to give them. Because I was so focused on the negative. I was so focused on the people that weren't working, which in the end ruined my business for quite a few months. And I was pissed off about that too, but it was my fault. It was my fault because I chose where to put my energy, and my energy was focused too much on the people that did not deserve it. But I will tell you this. I have a group chat on Facebook, okay, for my team, and I see people leave that all the time, right? I see people in there that turn off the notifications because it's annoying, it's this, it's that. If that's one of you, turn on the notifications, please, because otherwise you don't need to be in there, okay? But I see people do this all the time, and it's like, you know what? If you cannot invest into my training, right? If you cannot invest not even into my training, but into your team, your family, because that's what we all are, whether you sign up with me or somebody else, this is a family, okay? If you cannot invest in your time into that, then I'm not going to invest my time into answering your question, period. Point blank, ever. If somebody decides to turn off notifications in my group chats, okay, and isn't interactive in my group page or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden decides to ask me 10 different questions every day on Facebook Messenger, I'm sorry, I don't have time for you. I'm sorry, I don't have time for you. But I am not there for your convenience, okay? So that's how I treat the negative that I used to give all of my time to, and for no reason. So I have switched that up, and I have turned things around, and my team is on fire. My team is thriving. I absolutely love them to pieces. All of them. Even the ones that think I don't, I love them, okay? Because everybody's in there, and they're all working. And it's just, it is what it is. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today because, well, one, I love doing my live videos. You know that. But two, it was a question that came up today, and it was something that always is asked of me. And it's so true. Like, why are you stressing? Why are you stressing over people that aren't working, right? When you have people that are working, even if it's one person, let that person be your rock star. Let that person shine. Praise that person. Praise that person because they are that one person that is working. When you have 20 others that aren't, oh well, they don't get it. They're not going to take your energy, your good energy, because of their faults. Don't worry about it. Just move on and focus on that one person, those two people, whoever it might be, and then just recruit more that actually get it and that actually want to be a part of something amazing and that actually want to change their lives. Okay? Because you will find people that join you and say, I want to change my life. I'm amazing. I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. You're not going to be a rock star until you actually are a rock star and you show me that you are. Otherwise, it's just words to me. Because I have dealt with those people and I have really believed them and fallen into that little trap of they just like to talk. They just like to talk. And I guarantee you, if I've signed up those people, you have too. So I promise you, don't focus on them. If you stop focusing on them, get out of management mode, keep focusing on your business and doing everything that you are supposed to be doing, and at the same time have a balance of praising your rock stars. And a rock star to me is not somebody that's signing 20 DTs a month. A rock star to me is somebody who shows up, somebody who's in it, somebody who has a passion for it, and somebody who is excited and energized and wants to learn. That's a rock star to me, right? So if that's a rock star to you, praise those people. Because those are the people that are going to go to the top with you. Those are the people that are going to get themselves to the top, that are going to get you to the top, that you're going to be standing on that stage together. Do what I'm telling you. I swear to you guys, do not focus on the negative. All right? I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. I don't know. I'm just going to have one more sip of tea, and then I might sign off. This tea is so good. It's like this new herbal tea I'm drinking, and I really like it. Tastes delicious. All right. I don't know what anybody's thing said, but you know what's something I never do? And now that I'm actually going to do it, nothing will probably come through. But if you have a question, I have about 2 more minutes. I feel like staying on here. If you have a question, type it below. It could be about anything. I don't care. It doesn't have to be about the business. It could be about anything in the world. But type it below and I'll answer it while I'm still on here for the next few minutes. Drinking my tea. And if not, oh well. Nothing. See? People ask me questions all the time. Then when I ask you to ask me questions, everybody goes silent. I love it. You guys are funny. Oh, something totally random. Where do I get my lashes from? I can't tell you about that right now, but let's just say they come from my creativity. I'm going to leave it at that. How do I keep my team motivated? I am very big on leading from the front, and I'm very big on edifying, something I never used to do, actually. But I am very big on it now. I think that when your team doesn't just see you, you know, doing well, that they see their peers doing well, I think that's really important. You know, I think that if when I started, if I had other people to look to, because I didn't, if I had other people to look at and say, oh my God, like they're doing amazing, you know, I could do that too, I think I would have ranked up a lot faster. But Dan's trying to text me asking me about what to get at the grocery store, and I'm sorry, Dan, I can't help you right now. But I really think that edifying is very important. So I praise the smallest of accomplishments, and something that I started doing on my weekly Zooms is I'll spotlight somebody. It does not matter what level they are at. If they got my attention that week, or they're doing really good, or whatever the case may be, I think it's really important. And I'll just stop the Zoom. I did it last night, actually. And or I'll end the Zoom, and I'll spotlight them, and I'll ask them some questions, because, you know, I'll ask them, when did you sign up as a distributor? You know, how many LCs do you have? How many DTs do you have? What do you think is the best thing that has been able to get you those DTs and LCs so quickly? And like I said, it's something I just started doing, and I think that, you know, if I was in a Zoom, right, with my peers that I talk to every day, and I saw this stuff happening from another person, maybe that person signed up way after I did, and they're rocking it, that would motivate me. That would push me to work harder. So I think that leading from the front and edifying my team publicly is so important, because, you know, being a triple diamond, you forget that, like, yeah, I could sign up people left, right, and sideways. That's great. But in the beginning, right? In the beginning, when you get your first 2 loyals, that's a big deal. That's a big, big deal. And I feel like every brand new distributor needs to be commended for that. And they need to be publicly shouted out about, you know, about with that. So I think that motivates them as well. Sorry for that long ass answer. My husband's gonna kill me. What is this? What? Oh my God, you guys. What? Stop it. Stop. Oh my God. Why is this not? Every time I scroll up, it keeps going down. Here we go. Where you get less from, blah, blah. What color brand is my hair? Actually, it depends. To do my roots, which I need to do, I'll use L'Oreal High Color High Lift in red. High Color Highlights, sorry, in red, with a 30 volume developer for 30 minutes. And that takes my roots from that to that. If I want to really brighten it up in the middle of things, I'll just use Manic Panic. And I'll use Pillar Box Red, and also I think Rock and Roll Red. I mix the two of them together. Do you follow up with the... Okay, sorry. Do you have any of the mugs that I liked? Oh, Valerie! Not yet. We are working on them. I promise you. You will be the first one to get one. Thank you, guys. I hate cold messaging. How do you get others to understand... Oh my God, stop. How do you get others... Stop. Okay. How do you get others to understand it's not in you to do cold messaging? Oh, I tell them. I think I'm very, very vocal about, I hate cold messaging. I have friends that cold message all day, every day. And, you know, that doesn't change that I adore them. We just do different methods. I have taught my team, my methods, because, I mean, they signed up with me for a reason. And it works out really well. I think that if you are against a method and you have a reason for it, don't be afraid to tell people about that. Don't think that, like, there's one set method to do. Just like not everybody's going to agree with the fact that I don't cold message, because maybe they do. You know, not everybody's going to agree with the fact that they do cold message. I don't know what the hell I just said, you guys. I'm sorry. I got halfway blanked in there. But you know what I mean? So, like, don't just tell them. Just talk about it. Like, if you are not into cold messaging, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I applaud you for not being into cold messaging. Exactly. Go with what works for you. Oh my god. Okay. Do you follow up with those DTs who aren't working, or do you just let them go and move on? It really depends on what's going on with them. I have never followed up with any of my DTs that weren't working to be like, hey, what's going on? Or at least I haven't in the last year. Before that, I used to be like, hey, are you in this or are you not? And I used to get like really frustrated. Now I'm just like, whatever. Like, I don't care. I really don't care, because it's not affecting me. Like them not doing anything is not affecting my business. It's not affecting my team. So I don't really have any desire to reach out to them or follow up with them, because if they're not doing what they have to do now, like if they have signed up 3 weeks ago and they are still commission hold distributor in the E-Suite, knowing that I know that they have not even logged into the E-Suite, no matter everything that I have given them, then now you need to try and get my attention. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to waste any of my energy. I have only so much time, just like everybody has only so much time in a day. I as well only have so much time in a day, and it needs to be focused on people that genuinely want my help and that genuinely are working and that, you know, genuinely love my team, right? Like that want to succeed. Oh my God, you guys, I can't even talk today. What do I do with the person that signed me up? Won't help. I have no team, no help. I'm trying to work, but on my own. That was exactly what happened to me. Become the leader that you don't have. That's my best advice for you. I have so many videos on YouTube. You could pretty much do exactly what I do if you just watch the videos on YouTube. But I promise you, don't let the fact that your upline won't help. Sorry, guys. Let me see. With your new DTs, what kind of training are you doing? E-Suite videos, etc., or do you just keep it simple, give them a script or posts, and get them working on getting 4 LCs? Their first goal is 4 LCs. Period. Like, I'll tell them how to get those 4 LCs, which is probably what the same thing that most distributors do. But I have a distributor boot camp, which is very informational, and they stay in there until they get their 4 LCs, and then they move out from there into the main group that I have. But in the boot camp, there's everything. I mean, there's, they're all on the same page in boot camp, should I say, because they're all starting on the same level, should I say. And there's files in there. I mean, it's literally everything that you could find in the E-Suite. For the most part, with some other things that I've thrown in, but it's basically like, look, here's your basic stuff right now. Get your 4 loyals. Get them in the 72 hours. Let's go. Like, I try and keep things as simple as possible because there is so much information, which is also why I have a boot camp, because I feel like if people go straight into the main group, as a new distributor, that's like stupid overwhelming. I'm sorry, but it is stupid overwhelming. So, the last year I made a boot camp, and it's been amazing. Like, people get out of boot camp, I applaud them and I shout them out because they got out of boot camp, they got their 4 loyals, and then they're excited because then they're in a new group and they get to talk to people, because in the informational boot camp, like, you can't really talk to anybody. So that's what I do. My boot camp is not on YouTube. No, it's a private Facebook group. When a DC is out of town, how do you make them feel you're connected to them? Meaning making sure they feel you're there for them. I don't have a local team. Every single person that has ever signed up with me, I would say 99.9% of them were strangers. I had no idea who they were. So they are from everywhere, all over the country, all over the world. I have people in other countries. My group chat and the Facebook group in general, that's like home base. That's where they know they can always reach me. on Facebook Messenger. They know that if they are working hard and they need a Zoom like that minute, I'll hop on for them. I am literally, because from day one I've never had a local team, so I've never been able to do the get-togethers and all that stuff, which I always wish I could. But I just didn't have it. Everything was done on social media, and people found me from all over the country. So because of that, from day one, I have always made sure that every distributor that signs with me knows that I'm accessible 24/7 unless I'm sleeping. So they can text me, they can send me a Facebook Messenger, which majority of them do now. That seems to be like the go-to thing for people on my team. So yeah, I have my Zooms. I'm always present in my Facebook chats, because I just think that it's really important. And like I said, I use voice messages for everything, unless I just can't at that moment. But voice messages are personal, voice messages are personal. Zooms are personal. You could see each other's faces. And I think it's really important. So, you guys are so welcome. Okay, I'm gonna have to answer one more question, then I have to go because Dan's like trying to get in touch with me. Would you push for diamond with a strong and a weak leg, or wait for 2 strong legs? It depends on how close you are, and it depends on how weak that one leg is. I have rebuilt before myself. I have seen tons of other people rebuild like 5 times, but I've also seen how amazing it is when your structure is solid. Like, when your structure is solid, your stress is way down. And that's your ultimate goal, right? So I think but that all starts with leadership. I think that in order to get, a solid foundation underneath you, it starts with leadership, and it starts with you. And I think regardless of who you sign up, right? I mean, you're going to sign up a ton of people, and not everybody's going to work, as we all know, the whole point of this video. But I think that when you are leading the right way, and you let them know from day one, like, look, here's the deal. Like, here's what we're going to be doing. I'm big on layered leadership. I do it from time to time, and that has worked really well for me. But you can't do that without leaders, I feel, because I think it's too much for people that are brand. You can't do that with brand new people most of the time unless they're running. But I think if you implement layered leadership, you will have a stronger leg. And then you could push for diamond. But if you are boxed in and you have only a couple of, if you're going for promotion and you have, there's a bonus around the corner, and you're not going to be able to get it unless you, have like 1,000 volume and whatever else, like, do whatever you can if you really want that promotion, you want that bonus. Because then after that, then you could focus on building up the leg again and all that stuff. But in the meantime, because I never used to be about placing for promotions, I used to hate that, just because of the crumbling that happens after that. Like, unless you have a solid structure, you could go diamond next month and you'll get the bonus, but then you're going to lose it the next month because your structure is going to crumble, right? Like, you can't maintain it unless you're a mass enroller, and even then it is stupid stressful. So I think that it literally depends on every single person. For me, I'm not trying to rank up right now, but for me, I think that at one point, I would have been all about, just placing wherever on the weak leg, so that way I can promote. But now I'm just like, I'm focused way more on a solid foundation. So I know that was a ramble. I tend to ramble. I'm sorry. But that's my my thing. All right, you guys. I have to call Dan. So I hope that, no, that's not him. I have to call him so he knows to get garlic. And I have to go. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Goodbye.